In the name of the Holy and Undivided Trinity, Amen. Will you please be seated? Well, good evening and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You know, when Becky and I moved here, we were warned by some of our friends, you should think twice before moving to Minnesota. It's very cold there, you know. And I was kind of worried about that. And I prepared for it. And I have clothes that, make me feel like Nanook of the North. I am ready for all of that. But I got to tell you, and I ran into another person from my home parish, Shreveport, Louisiana, St. Paul's Episcopal Church. I got to tell you that tonight feels a lot like Shreveport. I don't know that you Minnesotans are what I thought that you were. Are you ready? Are you ready for Christmas as a holiday, and are you ready, really, for God to come again with power and great glory? Are we ready, any of us? Years ago, I remember listening to a sermon from the former rector of Christ Church in Plano, Texas. His name is David Roseberry, and he was preaching and talking about the church's burglar alarm system of anything. If you can just show me how many people have a burglar alarm of some type at your house. That's a whole lot of hands going up, so I will not be trying to get into your houses anytime soon. But when you have a system like that, you know that it's not on all the time, because if it were, then every time you opened a door or a window, the burglar alarm would go off, right? So instead, what you have to do to get it ready is it's called arming the system. You turn it on so that it doesn't go off. You see what I'm saying? So if you look at the control panel on your alarm system, there's usually a message on there that tells you not to arm the alarm just yet because there's a door open, there's a sensor picking something up in the basement, something like that. And the message, he said, on the church console was, "Church not ready." Church not ready. Well, no kidding. No kidding. If God were to look at us, would God find us ready? Or would God be saying, "Church not ready"? Becky and I were watching television several years ago. We watch a lot of morning TV. We're Today Show people. And we were watching, again, a few years back, and heard a statistic that on Christmas Eve, more than half of the American public has not even started their gift purchasing for their friends and family. And I turned to Becky when I heard that statistic and I said, "Oh good, it's not just me." This again, remember, this was several years ago, but I've several times since then, including this year, said it again. Boy, I don't think I have ever been less ready for Christmas. And she said, "Yeah, me too. I haven't bought you anything." I haven't bought you anything, honey. I haven't bought any gifts. I haven't sent any cards. I haven't fixed any of the ills of our culture or even our congregation or even my family and my closest friends. I am not ready. But is that really what God asks of us? In this Advent season, we are called to watch, to rejoice, to behold, and I'm taking these out of order, but the one that I was thinking about was to prepare. To prepare. That is the task, that's one of the tasks of Advent. That's what God is waiting for us to do, to turn our expectation toward the miraculous, toward the glory and the goodness of God. Start expecting and preparing for God to be with us, because that's what God does. He comes into the world to be with us. The word for it, and I know you know this, is Emmanuel. God with us. In the New Testament, the word Emmanuel only appears one time. It appears in the first chapter of the Gospel according to Matthew, and it says that a virgin shall conceive, and he shall be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. And the very last words of that same gospel don't use the word, but they repeat the idea. When Jesus' last words to his disciples are, "Behold, I am with you always, even to the ends of the earth." Now, I know that there are a lot of people in this room that I have never met yet, and I hope to make your acquaintance. People are here for different reasons. Some people are here because it's been part of their piety and part of their relationship with a living Christ for years, for decades, and maybe for generations. Some people are here because they're curious. Some people are here because they thought there'd be some really good music and they were right. And some people are here because they're making friends or family members feel better by their presence. But whatever brings you here tonight, I hope that your preparation was toward expecting great things from a living Christ. Maybe even considering what you might do differently in your lives. And tonight is a wonderful night to start it. Ours is a God who shows up. And to quote that wonderful theologian, Woody Allen, he's the one who said that 80% of success is just showing up. He later said, well, if 90%, he said that time, if 90% of it is just about showing up, the other 10% is what are you showing up for? Jesus is the one who shows up, and what he shows up for is you. So Merry Christmas to all of you. Expect great things. It's okay that we're not ready because we're prepared and God is with us. Amen.